Morning everyone, just doing a quick microphone check. Give us a shout, Adam.
1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. I could have said something more interesting, couldn't I? Hello everyone.
No, stick with tradition. Afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Forgive me having my back to you. Just doing a few little setup thingamajingamies. It's been a while since we've done any streaming, so there's always that challenge when you dust off all the kit and get stuck back in, finding out which cables don't work and which things you've forgotten. Adam's with me today, and hello. Adrian's up top. We should be up top. That's one of our challenges that we face at the moment. This is a fairly typical scenario for us about 20 minutes before the flying's due to start. It's due to start at 3:30, by the way, 1:30 by the way. As Adrian disappears, generally to try and sell something to someone or make some conversation with someone or other. So we've got no camera 2 at the moment, so you're stuck with us for a little while. So myself and Adam, I'll just say a hello. If you haven't watched a Plains TV broadcast before, hello, my name's Ian. Adam's kindly come along to do some camera work and has been doing wonderful camera work with us for the last few years. And then my dad is on the wide angle today, and he started this business 33 years ago, whatever. So yeah, that's us. That's the 3 of us producing this live stream from Duxford today. Flying days, so a smaller flying display than you might be used to from Duxford's main Duxford air shows way back in the past, or indeed we still get them, don't we, in July and June and September this year. We're expecting good shows.
24th and 25th of June is the first of the big Duxford shows. And
then we'll be back again in September for the Battle of Britain show. So just a couple of hours of flying this afternoon, and it's a bit irresistible to come along and record some of it.
Nice to have such an early start to the season. It's one of the things that these Duxford flying days have done for British air shows. They've lengthened our display season by best part of a month on each end, really.
And I'm just looking through the flying display running order that someone handed me about 5 minutes ago, competing with a loudspeaker quite close to us. The flying days, this is a little bit of I always make this silly apology that people may or may not notice, but the audio setup's a little bit interesting at flying days. We don't have a commentator's position, so the guys are using a tannoy speaker up there. So our feed of that could be a little bit ropey, but hopefully won't detract too much for the entertainment. So are you staring at this as well?
I am, yes.
What are we looking at?
Starting at 13:30 with the Corsair and the Sea Fury. Then following that, we've got the Hawk and Nimrod. The Turbulent team, your favourites, Ian?
They are my favourites. This is genuine. I'm quite happy saying they are the most entertaining. I would say,
in terms of audience participation.
This is it, and for me as well. Actually, you very rarely in a formation display see any novelty from one display to the next, if you like, so I can get very bored of the red arrows by the end of the year. But actually the Turb display, there's always that moment of jeopardy of it. Are they going to pop the balloon, or is the limbo going to work all right, and all the rest of it.
And we've got, by the look of it, something extra today, something I've never seen before, although you have many years ago, which is they appear to be tied together. Old school.
If we had Adrian on camera too, I could ask him to get a shot of it, but have you got anything on your camera?
You can see in the corner of the screen, you can see one Turb with some bunting on the wingtips.
Yeah, you get the idea there, hopefully, ladies and gents. There's, oh no, you can't see that at all because of the ridiculous title that I've still got up. Yeah, so you can now see that Turb in the lower left.
We're going live?
We're live now, Adrian. You can hop up on that camera. That's beautifully done, wasn't it?
We're live now?
That's right.
Okay.
We're live now. Yes, that's right, Dad. Get on the camera. The Turb team. Let's come back here. I love them. So they are on at what time? 10 to 2.
If you look out to the left of the airfield, that's the eastern end of the airfield.
Well, hopefully Adrian will be able to catch the Hawker Fury, which is just lining up at the end of the runway to our left.
So, and it might be worth actually. I mean, we've got 19 minutes to go, but it might be worth sending you out to camera.
Okay.
Actually.
I'll pop back after they take off.
Yeah, all right. Let's do that. So we've got a couple of aircraft. Getting airborne in preparation for the displays, maybe doing a bit of an air test prior to flying display starting proper. I think I'll come over here. I think I might even change your view slightly. You can see Adam out in the airfield there. Oh, that's his camera position. We've got this nice backdrop here of the old runway caravan that we're going to use as a commentary position, but it hasn't quite worked out. But that's quite a nice little old van to just look at in the background? Fiddling around with the audio levels. Looks like I've lost a channel, that's nice. Might not get the wonderful stereo that I'll try and give you. There's nothing on my left channel at the moment. That's better, I've turned it up. Yes, so what was that? Fury getting airborne there, ready for opening the flying display with the Corsair, which is down the end of the runway there as well. Has Adam got a shot? Not yet. No, so let's run through the running order. So Corsair and Fury kicking off, then Nimrod, then my favourite, the Turb team.
Sometime before the Corsair goes,
Hello.
I think.
He's back, I'm going to turn it around.
Can't get rid of me that easily.
Yeah, I've got too many headphones on. Turb team, and then Titan. So just the decathlon from the Titan team, which is in its.
My head off again.
I was expecting. Look at this one. We're going to get blown away. TC Spitfire starting up there. That's pretty interesting at the moment. Is that displaying?
Nope.
Not displaying.
We've got two Mark 5 Spitfires later in the programme. They were right at the end.
I might have to stay here just to hold on to stuff because that is pretty close. Might be able to see beyond the runway curve like that. I nearly got all the way through this running order. Titan with the decathlon, then Youngman, then repeat, correction, repeat first, then Youngman, and then finishing with a 109 consumer big shot with two Mark 5 spins as you said. So it's not a two-seater, which is presumably going off on a jolly for someone.
Well, it's getting quite close to the flying display for pleasure flights. Maybe it's transiting elsewhere or just moving out of the way. See the Corsair taxiing out, so I'll go and catch the takeoff.
Let's do it. Right, I think I'll start focusing on some aeroplanes rather than us. Hello everyone, lovely to see you all in the chat. Do join the chat, I'll be monitoring through the day. Adam and Adrian on camera, and I'll be having a look at that. And yeah, can answer some of your questions maybe. Otherwise, just hopefully pick the right cameras. Right, I'll put it up.
This aircraft's actually not part of today's display and will be departing before the action proper gets underway, but nice opportunity to see a Spitfire on the way down. Today as well, we've got Planes TV filming and live streaming as we speak, and in a moment I'll just have a quick word with Adrian from Planes TV, who will be able to give us a bit of an idea of what their plan is for the day.
Thank you for that kind intro, Liam. Yes, it's Adrian from Planes TV. We are here filming the show today, as we've been doing for 33 years now. I'll clear the air in a minute or two, but we'd love to know from people here today where you'd like to see Planes TV go. We are live streaming. It's live streaming on YouTube. You can go home and watch it later, but of course that doesn't earn us any money. And I'm really keen to know where should we take the business. We do have a channel which is a chargeable channel where the bigger, or dare I say, tasty programs like Riyadh go, but these go on there as well. And we'd love to get a bit of feedback from people about what you'd like to see on a television channel about aeroplanes. So go onto YouTube later and put a few comments up about what you like, what you'd like to see. And of course it's free on YouTube. It is a subscription channel, £10 a month, and there's a huge amount on there going back way over 30 years, some of the best air shows that they've ever been. But I'm camera 2 today. I'll be being screamed at by our director to get back on camera. So I'll head back to Liam, but go and have a look at Planes TV on YouTube later today, and do put some comments up about what you see us doing or what you'd like us to do. Thank you.
departs to the west. We're about 5 minutes away now from our first act arriving. That will be in the shape of the Hawker Sea Fury Mark II from Fighter Aviation Engineering, and the Goodyear, Goodyear built Corsair from the Fighter Collection. We'll try and give you a bit of an update as they begin to run in.
5,600. 5,600.
So, very good afternoon again. We're about 1 minute from the display. Sea Fury and Corsair are going to make their approach very shortly. So it just leaves me to welcome you once again to an absolutely glorious Duxford. The sun's come out for us to mark the first of a very full flying season in what is our 50th anniversary year of flying displays here at Duxford. Come October this year, it will be 50 full years of flying at Duxford. Quite an achievement. So what a fantastic day to begin things. And we're going to see the Corsair and the Sea Fury from the M11 end very shortly. So after the beautiful pair's arrival, we're going to watch the Fighter Collections operated Goodyear built Corsair in its Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm markings. Example is painted to represent a British Fleet Air Arm aircraft, KD-345 of 1850 Squadron, flying in the Pacific towards the end of the Second World War. The arrival of the Sea Fury. This particular aircraft was actually produced by Hawkers as a Fury ISS, or Iraqi single seat for the Iraqi Air Force. It currently wears the markings of SR661, which was actually the Royal Navy's prototype Sea Fury. in Iraq. It was actually purchased by some American collectors, Ed Juris and David Talashay, in 1979, where it was returned to the USA, and spent a number of years moving around various owners before being shipped to the UK in September 1991 to the hands of John Bradshaw, a Concorde pilot. Flying in the UK until 2009, the aircraft was exported to Australia, where she flew for a number of years until coming back to the hands of her current owners. This aircraft now forms one of a large number of aircraft operated under the Fighter Aviation Engineering umbrella and based between Duxford and Sywell. So take a look out to the left for the final pass of the Sea Fury. Next to roll on the hard runway will be our next display item, the Fighter Collections Hawker Nimrod. Once that's airborne, we should be seeing the Corsair and the Sea Fury back on the ground. Two very different generations of naval fighter, the Nimrod getting airborne and the Corsair touching down on the hard. As the Sea Fury comes into land, the display act that will be following on from the Nimrod, the Turbulent team, and their four little aircraft moving out now to the far end of the airfield in preparation for their display. Nimrod arrives for its opening pass, overflying the Hawker Sea Fury, two very different ends of the Hawker aircraft stable as well. The Nimrod itself was effectively a navalised version of the Hawker Fury, an aircraft that was much in use with the RAF in the pre-war years. Displaying for us today is a Mark I version operated by the Fighter Collection. It was actually the third production aircraft built by Hawker Engineering at Kingston upon Thames. Following retirement from use with the Naval Air Squadron, the Fleet Air Arm, the aircraft eventually was recovered from a scrapyard in the early 1970s and initially donated to the RAF Museum before passing on in the 1980s to act as a pattern for Viv Bellamy's Fury replica. In 1994 saw the commencement of the eventual return to flight undertaken over a number of years before it flew again in 1999. When the Nimrod was returned to flight, she was actually painted back in her markings that she would have worn as 573, serving with 802 Naval Air Squadron during the 1930s. In 2004, she joined the current owners, the Fighter Collection, and remains airworthy and a star attraction to this day. as the Nimrod turns downwind to make its approach to land. From the left, from the M11 end, the turbulent team about to roll. Tiger Club's turbulent display team, one of the longest established flying display teams in the world, and in 2023 it celebrates its 64th year. That's longer than the Red Arrows or the Patrie de France. Down on the grass, the next display out will be the turbulent team. Their display will include quite a lot of various manoeuvres and otherwise that we're going to see out in front of us here, including some balloon popping and various other items from the days of barnstorming. Since 1959, the Turbs have been an integral part of the Tiger Club's famously colourful contribution to light aviation, during which time the team has brought the excitement of its energetic and flamboyant low-level displays to audiences at hundreds of air shows and events at home and abroad. As you'll see in today's display, flying these French-designed aircraft, there will be a very English combination of the comic and the serious. At the moment, a couple of the ground crew members from the turbulent team setting up some of the ground-based activity that we will see shortly when the turbulent team arrive. The turbulents actually fly a D-31 Turbulent, which was a French-designed aircraft by Roger Drouin, and it first flew in 1953, powered by a 1600cc engine, weighs around 160 kilograms empty, has a wingspan of less than 7 metres. Often the Turb is little more than a flying motorbike. In 1960, the Duke of Edinburgh took himself off in Golf Alpha Papa November Zulu, making the Turbulent the first and only single-seat aircraft to have been flown by a member of the royal family. As we can see, the aircraft flying around in basic figure of eights tied together. They're actually flying at a height that you won't see them fly at for the rest of the display. This is around about 500 feet. They'll be much lower after their break. Strapline is small but powerfully entertaining, reflects the attitude of the team who never take themselves too seriously and ensure that fun is always their agenda. The team itself is run by private pilots and ground crew from the Tiger Club based in Daventry Hall in Essex, and the Tiger Club has been famous for formation display flying and aerobatics since its formative years in the 1950s when the flying club was based first at Croydon Airport. At the end of this display, the team would be very happy for you to share with them their photos, videos and comments on their social media at Turb Team on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. And positioning for the break. Now the aircraft have broken up into their individual untied together elements. We're going to see the poles up, that's out in the centre of the grass runway. Two poles being held by their intrepid ground crew with some bunting strung between. And we're going to see a number of opposition passes underneath the pole. That's one through. Now in this manoeuvre they are flying extremely low and they're the only display team currently authorised, or one of only two display teams, I apologise, authorised to fly just 3 feet above the ground. follow my leader style. They're going to pass through the hoop in line astern. Turbulence make their final pass over the poles. They're lining up now for a couple of runs of flower bombing. Watch out, there may be a few pops and bangs. And as they complete their first pass, lining up for their second, dropping flour, I understand that for certain events they can provide gluten-free options. That one looks like a direct hit. Not too far off again. Now you might start to notice a few balloons rising into the air down by the Harvard out on the flight line. As they start to climb into the air, the team are going to attempt to pop them as they fly past. So those of you in the crowd have got a good idea and a good view of those balloons. Let's try and count how many they manage to score on each pass. Almost. Come on. I think these are indestructible balloons today. I want to know what these balloons are made of. They're getting very close and they're not bursting them. I think that's the first balloon. Fantastic. Still a few more to go. Let's keep them counted. Two down, almost a third. So after our balloon popping, they're going to run in now, line astern. They'll be giving you a good wave as they run along the crowd line, so do give them a wave back. I'm sure they'll be very happy to see smiley, happy, waving people as they run along on this lovely warm afternoon. So that concludes the turbulent team display for the afternoon, and they're going to make their individual run-ins to land. They, where possible, will be taxiing in past the crowd. Do give them a wave if they pass you. And once they're all on the ground, I think they deserve a very loud round of applause to thank them for their efforts. It was, a few balloons may have slipped the net, but sterling effort all round. crowd line, do give the turbulent team a good wave and a round of applause as they come in. As the turbulent team returns their parking slot, next display act is heading out to begin its takeoff roll with other ahead of schedule, so maybe a short while after departure before we see the Type Decathlon return. Gain their new flags and taxi back down the taxiway down towards their parking spot just in front of the control tower. And the site is about to commence its display. To the left, smoke on. Titans are normally a two-ship pair of dissimilar types, an American Champion Extreme Decathlon, which we can see here, and an Extreme Air XA-42 currently their second aircraft is actually on the grass just in front of the control tower, but we're just going to watch the solo routine today. UK-based VIP and charter airline operating an Airbus fleet at a local Stanford airport. Aircraft itself is the Extreme Decathlon. This aircraft is an upgraded version of the classic American high-wing design. This one has got clipped, strengthened wings, giving an impressive G limit of +6 to -5, similar to that of a Pit Special, and an engine that produces 210 brake horsepower from its fuel-injected motor. Flying for us today is Patrick Wilson, Airbus A320 pilot for Titan Airways, who is regularly flying passenger and cargo around the world, and today marks his third appearance as a display pilot here at Duxford. high-wing aircraft performing aerobatic manoeuvres like this. And as it comes closer on those topside passes, you can see the window immediately above the pilot in the top of the wing for all-round visibility. the decathlon lines up for its last pass. Check out the smoke against that beautiful blue sky. Lines up for landing. The next two display acts are up and running at the far end of the airfield, the Youngman and the Dragon Repeat. The decathlon has cleared the grass. The Youngman is lining up for its takeoff. The Repeat is also lining up, ready for its display slot. So our next display act is the beautiful 1930s Dragon Repeat. This particular aircraft, Golf Alpha Golf Juliet Golf, began life as a Domini in 1941, essentially the militarised version of the Dragon Repeat. It was civilianised in late 1943, and it flew scheduled sorties between Scotland and the Orkney and Shetland Islands at the later stages of the Second World War. Post-war, this aircraft was used to give joyrides from Heathrow and then spent a number of years carrying and dropping parachutists. Following acquisition by Mark and David Miller, this aircraft underwent 27 years of painstaking, loving restoration here at Duxford to produce for us the resplendent aircraft that we see flying in front of us. Flew again in 2004 from here at Duxford and wears the wartime camouflage scheme of Scottish Airways that it would have worn during the Second World War. Epitomising the fine lines of most de Havilland aircraft, the Rapide is a beautiful aircraft and really represents a high point at that time in luxury and air travel. It's always a pleasure to experience a flight in a classic aircraft from the 1930s like the Dragon Rapide, and we're lucky enough not only to have one in the display today, but Classic Wings are also operating their aircraft, Dragon Rapide, for pleasure flights, which I believe will be continue to be available at the close of the flying display. sets up downwind to land. Running up at the left-hand side are the show finale pair of Spitfire Mark 5s, Spano Bouchon. They will be going through their power checks to get airborne shortly, and we'll commence their display after our next act, the Booker Jungmann. So we're expecting the repeat to land, but it's actually going to hold off until the fighters are airborne. So the three aircraft are going to take part in the finale today, just getting prepared at the eastern end of the airfield. Merlin engine fighters depart. The Rapide is on finals to land, and then we will see the commencement of the Jungmann display. And high and to your left, the arrival of the Jungmann. Painting beautiful white smoke trails in that blue sky today is the German-built 1930s trainer, the Jungmann, the first flight of which was in the 27th of April 1934, but it's an aircraft type that remained in military service through to 1968 when the Spanish Air Force retired their last examples. The Jungmann, Golf Bravo Sierra Alpha Juliet, was actually built in 1954 by Casa in Spain, so it's not an original German-built aircraft. However, it flies now with the Olympic rings painted on the engine cowling, representing an aircraft that would have appeared at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Was a 1930s German trainer, very much contemporary of the British Tiger Moth, and many a German Luftwaffe pilot would have probably cut their teeth and their first flights would have happened in aircraft much like this. Showing off its remarkable agility, this aircraft is now based at Duxford and it's owned by Pete Kinsey, who's very capable hands. We see it being flown this afternoon. And the young one pulls up high and out to the right, be making its last pass before making its approach to land. And as the Jungmann settles on the graph, look out towards the left, towards the M11 for our final display act of the afternoon, battle formation. From the left, the two Mark V Spitfires. So a pair of Mark V Spitfires begins the finale of our show today. The clipped wing example is Mark 5B EP120 of the fighter collection. And the more conventional elliptically rounded wingtips on EE602 is an aircraft that belongs to Fighter Aviation Engineering Limited. Example, EP120 of the fighter collection, wears its wartime markings of 402 City of Winnipeg Squadron of the Royal Canadian Air Force. The non-clip wing example is representing 129 Squadron's E602, one of the presentation Spitfires, in this case that presented by Central Railway's Uruguayan staff. As the Spitfire's positioned for another pass, it looks like they've got some company. Is this company wanted or not? So the third aircraft joining now is Hispano HA1112 Bouchon. This particular aircraft, owned and operated by the Aircraft Restoration Company. This particular aeroplane, Yellow 10, wears the markings it would have worn during the 1968 filming of Battle of Britain. As the two Spitfires follow through on the Bouchon. This particular aircraft, much like the Jungmann we saw earlier, was built in Spain. And unlike its wartime contemporaries, the 109, the Bouchon itself is powered by the same engine that powers the Spitfire, the Rolls-Royce Merlin. limited historic aircraft left anywhere in the world, as it has an impressive 7 confirmed kills to its name. The Buchon Yellow 10 was built in Spain by Hispano Aviación in 1959. Essentially a 109, but this license-built version, as I mentioned, is powered by a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. So it looks like the Spitfires have got the better of the Buchon on this occasion as it streams smoke from its engine. That's a smoke generator fitted for one of its many film roles. This particular aircraft, as I mentioned, was used in the film Battle of Britain. As well as Battle of Britain, the Buchon has also starred in Valkyrie with Tom Cruise, Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, and most recently, just a couple of years ago, the BBC drama series SAS Rogue Heroes. With this smoke system, the Buchon spends a lot of its time as an adversary aircraft, often being shot down, as we've seen here, by an allied type, one or another, in this case the Spitfire. With this smoke dispenser and flying in aerial displays, it's also a popular enhancement to the passenger flights which can be booked with the Aerial Collective, which is the aircraft restoration company's in-house warbird experience provider. If you've ever fancied being the one to shoot down a Hispano Buchon in the dogfight, go and speak to the team situated next to Hangar 3 with the Hawker Hurricane, the Mustang and the 2-seat Spitfire, and I'm sure they'll fill you in on the details. It's also worth noting, as the two Spitfires in the far side of the airfield make a pass, the aircraft today are being flown by a father and son team. The Fighter Collections aircraft in the hands of Brian Smith, and the Fighter Aviation Engineering example in the hands of his son Nick. So as the aircraft restoration company's Hispano Buchon lands, we'll just wait for the return of the two Mark V Spitfires to conclude this afternoon's flying display. So we've mentioned that the two Spitfires were flown by father and son team, Brian and Nick Smith. It's worth mentioning the other pilots who we've seen in operation today, as the Hispano Buchon taxis in the hands of, my apologies, as the Buchon taxis in the hands of try that for a third time, in the hands of Steve Jones. Brian Smith in the Fighter Collections Mark V also was the pilot of the Fighter Collections Nimrod this afternoon, and Pete Kinsey, who flew the Fighter Collections Corsair at the start of the show, was also at the hands of the Jungmann for that spirited aerobatic display. Patrick Wilson was at the helm of the Titan Decathlon, and Mark Miller in the Dragon Rapide. So as the sounds of those Rolls-Royce Merlins recede, last couple of name checks for the day are the pilot of the Sea Fury. At the start of the display was Paul Bonham, and the four members of the turbulent team. Display leader Andrew Monk on his very first display lead, with wingmen Adam Parnell, Richard Meredith and Dave Hall, and it was Adam Parnell's it was his first display as well, so I think exceptional opening display all round there. So as the Spitfires and the Bouchon shut down, that concludes the flying element of our day today, and we thank all of the pilots who have taken part: Pete Kinsey, Paul Bonham, Brian Smith, Andrew Monk, Adam Parnell, Richard Meredith, Dave Hall, Mark Miller, Steve Jones, and Brian and Nick Smith. Now there's no need to rush off. The museum is open until 6 o'clock this evening, so there's plenty to see on the ground. The museum shop is open, as is that of the Duxford Aviation Society's bookshop down near Hangar 5. The Duxford Aviation Society airliners are open for another hour, and at 4 o'clock as well, Concorde will be undertaking its second nose droop of the day. There are a handful of other talks scheduled for the rest of the day between the American Air Museum and Airspace, and plenty of other items to see with our ground content that won't be leaving any time in a hurry. We hope you've enjoyed this very first flying display of 2023 in what is promising to be a very great air show season for Duxford as we celebrate 50 years of flying this October. But from me in the control tower, thank you very much for your attendance today. I hope you've enjoyed the sunshine. We arranged that especially. We stole it from the coronation, unfortunately. And there was plenty of fantastic flying to get our season underway. We hope to see you later in the year with one of our other flying days, D-Day Flying Day at the start of June, or our first main air show towards the end of June as well. But for now, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to this first live stream of our 2023 airshow season, and as Liam was saying, the first of Duxford's celebrations marking 50 years of display flying here at the airfield. I hope you've enjoyed it. We really have. We were not a couple of days ago expecting quite such good weather. Caught the best of the weekend's coronation bank holiday weekend weather, I think, here at Duxford, and I don't mind that one bit. Some really lovely moments there during the turbs and the battle formation at the end. Do, if you've enjoyed this, give it a like. Do make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got plenty more live broadcasts coming to you through the airshow season. I've got a couple of short videos that I shot during the winter as well. One on Rich Goodwin, actually just a few weeks ago, who did do a display using his 3-engined pit special, so 2 jet engines and the piston as well. So recorded that on a rather grey day, but telling the story of Rich bringing that aircraft to the airshow display circuit sometime soon, I hope. And I did also in December spend a bit of time at Cranfield, flying on the Saab 340 there, flying classroom, if you like. Both of those videos due to come out on YouTube in the near future. Had a bit of a quiet spell due to illness, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you so much for all tuning in, and thank you, Ray, for joining as a channel member. It was lovely to see someone sign up today, and lots of lovely comments on the chat. I think everyone enjoying the fact that it's airshow season again here in the UK. Lovely to see people tuning in from the US, from Wisconsin and elsewhere as well. Just really a moment to remind you that we're covering lots of Duxford shows and lots more besides. Duxford shows will be covering largely the flying days will go out here on YouTube and on Facebook, but we do have, of course, our streaming service at watch.planestv.com, the PTV On Demand service, and we've brought over the last couple of seasons quite a few live streams through there. Those have included Royal International Air Tattoo and the Duxford big shows here in June and September. So those will go out on that service. Do check it out. There's loads on there, as the old man alluded to when he snuck his way onto the public address earlier. The company's been running for 30 odd years, so our archive stretches back that far, and some of those early shows are really interesting to watch, but also some of those more recent live broadcasts. So plenty to fill the evenings with, all the daytimes. I won't be choosy about when you tune in. Check out watch.planestv.com. I think I do have a free trial set up on there at the moment. I really should check these things before I talk to you. Greetings from Brazil as well. Lovely. Hey, it's fantastic to see that we're giving Duxford a nice wide audience. It's a wonderful place to come and visit if you're an aviation fan, and if you ever get the chance, do make the effort. Trying to think what else I can tell you about our later season. We do expect to be out in Jersey and Ostrava as well, and a couple of other shows you'll be familiar with us covering as well. Who else is on the chat? I will just see if there's anyone saying, got any queries. We've got Galactic Jack in South Africa as well. It really is lovely thinking we're beaming this to all over the world, sharing the wonderful afternoon. It really is gorgeous, actually. I spent a lot of time, it doesn't look like it here, but spent a lot of time prepping this trimmed down live stream setup to be which doesn't involve our outside broadcast trailer. Normally we'd come with a big trailer, but yeah, not really worth hitting the motorway with that 15 miles per gallon beast for a couple of hours flying display, as wonderful as it's been. But this setup is not very waterproof, as you might notice. But I spent a lot of time prepping this weekend because the forecast looked so bad, to make sure I did have that as an option, but haven't had to use it because it has been gorgeous. Who else have we got in the chat? James saying thank you, and Annie saying the weather was good, wasn't it lovely? And Miss Modley saying thanks for the lovely stream, and afternoon from Telford. Sunny Telford. Sunny Telford? Is it nice in that part of the country? And greetings from Austria. Yeah, lovely to see so many familiar names. I think I'll sign off. It's been nice to dust off the equipment and figure out which bits of kit I've either forgotten how to use or have stopped working, and yeah, get Adam and Adrian out as well. I should say a big thank you to them. Adam, you may be able to see over my shoulder. Oh yeah, he's just there. There. Providing his wonderful camera work up there, and Adrian, you can't keep him away from aeroplanes for too long. So yeah, thank you gentlemen for joining us. I will sign off and say thank you for tuning in and for giving it a like and subscribing on the channel. We'll be back with another live broadcast very soon, certainly early June. And in fact, I've got some sneaky bits due in May, I hope, as well. Make sure to subscribe. And one last plea, if you do enjoy what we do here at Planes TV, sign up to the email newsletter. Didn't send one on Friday, forgive me, but I generally send one out on a Friday just with an update of what we're doing. So there's a link in the description, both on YouTube and Facebook, that you can click and sign up to the email newsletter. And that's a one-to-one thing with me. You can reply to it and tell me what awful mistakes I've made in my presentations over the weekend or whatever, or encourage me to do more or less or whatever. Yeah, great, lovely to chat everybody, and I'll sign off and say thanks for tuning in. Talk to you again soon. Bye bye.